Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
This morning we're starting with Nigeria Professional Football League. Adamawa United finally got their first win of the season. And who has had to do that was Stan Nana. 78th-minute goal. And then they were able to beat Lobby Stars by a lone goal.
1-0.
1-0.
1-0. After how many matches?
Okay,
how many
after
rounds of matches?
12
matches.
yes.
Finally, Adamawa United have their first 3 points of the season. Congratulations in order.
Yeah.
Also on the show, this time around, we're going to Europe, where Aubameyang, captain, fantastic, rescued Arsenal's Europa League campaign by scoring a late winner against Benfica to advance into the round of 16.
From the jaws of exit, just about going out of it. Aubameyang had to come to the rescue again.
Fantastic.
Also on the program, the NBA, and of course, the Brooklyn Nets just don't know how to lose right now. 8 straight win. Kyrie Irving and James Harden combining for 47 points.
Oops.
Yeah, and you have 6 players on double digits. Now, these guys are really in for something.
So
the defense is definitely much improved right now.
Much improved, exactly. Cecilia, ominous signs for the rest of the league because most of these winning streak
were without KD.
Without KD.
Yes.
So you can imagine when KD comes back. You can imagine where the chemistry gets a lot better.
Yeah.
It'll be very, very difficult to beat over a 7-game series. And that's why a lot of people are starting to look at the Brooklyn Nets now as perhaps being the favorites to win the NBA championship.
Okay.
Anyways, that's too early, and we'll come back to that later on the show. But there were other games as well too that went down last night and this morning. We have all the results for you, and we're going to give them to you right away. Starting with the Mavericks and the 76ers. It was a very interesting game. At the end of the day, it was Philly prevailing 111-97. Joel Embiid, of course, 23 points on the night and 9 boards, while Ben Simmons contributed 15 points in that victory. All right, let's go on to the Nets and the Magic. Like I said, it was a rout, 129-92. Right, so they absolutely blowing teams away, out.
That's what we expected.
Exactly.
Yeah, because defense is improving.
Yeah, we'll come back to that game shortly. That's our star game of the morning. Let's go on to their neighbors, the Knicks. They also recorded a rout-ish result against the Sacramento Kings, 140-121. Julius Randle, 21 points and 14 rebounds. The Grizzlies, surprisingly, shocked the Clippers, 122-94. Tyus Jones with a career-high 20 points on the night. And Memphis also found a way to slow down Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in that victory.
Just a reminder that Jones actually spent 15 minutes on court.
And scored 20.
Yeah.
Fantastic career night for Tyus Jones. It is very, very interesting. 112, 110 in favor of the Wizards against the Denver Nuggets. It was Bradley Beal with 33 points in that game.
31 road trip.
Exactly. And they had to really hang on, later to seal that victory. That's for Washington Wizards. And last but not the least, was Zion going up against Giannis. Mount Zion versus Greek Freak.
Greek Freak, and of course there was a Greek Freak, prevailed over him, 125 and 129. Just telling him that, okay, you're still a rookie, it's not your time yet, you're just 20, so your time will come.
But it was a great performance, it was a great matchup. Zion gave as good as it got on the night, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to get New Orleans the W. All right, let's talk about...
Started with the Pelicans on the Bucks, right? Start with that.
Let's do the Pelicans and the Bucks. Okay, all right then, fair enough. Let's do the Pelicans and the Bucks. We'll come back to our top performers later on. Quickly, Cecilia, Bucks, of course, against the Pelicans. The Pelicans have been playing well recently as well. But against the Bucks, we know what happened to Milwaukee recently, 5-game losing streak. But that's been over for a while now. So it was always going to be very difficult for the Pelicans, especially when Giannis was playing the way he's playing. 38 points on the night. Also got 31 points from Chris Middleton. I mean, But what more do you want? And it's going to be very tough to stop that kind of performance from the two-star players. For Giannis, is the first Bucks player with 3 straight 35-point games since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That was in 1973. It was the 4th straight winner, like I said, after losing 5
in a row. I love the way they were able to arrest that.
Yeah, that's what great teams are supposed to do. At the end, you can see the jersey exchange between the Greek Freak and Mount Zion. For Mount Zion, finished with 34 points, pardon me, on the night, while Brandon Ingram added 23 points for the Pelicans. Before this loss, they had won 2 straight games. And after the game, of course, they had to ask Zion, he's speaking on Giannis, his respect what he makes of the Greek Freak, while Giannis isn't speaking on what it feels like defending a man mountain like Zion Williamson.
I kind of know how to defend somebody like that. It doesn't take one person. You got to show bodies. You know, what can I say? Like when he drives the ball, he got such a quick second jump that you got to make sure you show body and box him out. Because if he misses, he's gonna go get the miss. It's somebody that we've never seen anybody like him. I have never seen nobody like him. The reason us, swap jerseys with him, I'm just collecting jerseys this year. I realized there's a lot of value in jerseys, and when I take a check in the previous game, that's 2,000. So now I got a jersey that I can sell in the future for a little bit more. So it's kind of even up. And if I don't sell it, I can give it to my kids and they can sell it. No, I'm joking. No, I'm just collecting jersey. It's something that I do. I think it's fun.
I respect Giannis because every year he improves. Even after coming off a back-to-back MVP, he's still finding ways to improve his game and do things for his team to help them win. So that's what I ultimately respect about him. He's going to stay true to who he is and being a competitor. So I got nothing but respect for him.
Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans talking about going up against one of the best players in the league. As a matter of fact, back-to-back MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's move on from that game now. Let's go and talk about the matchup between the Nets and the Kings, how Brooklyn were able to extend their winning streak to 8 games, the longest since moving from New Jersey to Brooklyn. And that's why I said at the start of the show
2006.
Exactly. That's why I said at the start of the show that you need to start getting worried now. I mean, the other teams in the league, the teams with aspirations of winning an NBA championship, have to start getting worried with the recent performances of the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving on the night, 27 points and 9 rebounds in that route. James Harden didn't have to score 40 points. 20 points was enough for the Beard as well, while they also got 19 points from Landry Shamet, also recorded 9 rebounds. Like I said, this role has been done without KD.
I mean, I love the fact that you can have 6 players on double digits. When James Harden got traded, to the Brooklyn Nets, we're thinking, okay, these guys are going to share the ball. He's going to hug the ball. We're thinking about the ball hodling and everything and all. But at the end of the day, I mean, for them to be able to share the scores amongst themselves, having 6 players on double digits on the night, it shows a whole lot. I mean, check when the whole game started. I mean, the Magic just went open a 10-point lead. At the end of first quarter, they were actually 27-17. I mean, the Nets were losing and all that. But that was a slow start. But somehow it ended up being a blowout. They came out and a 37 points game, man. That's huge for them.
It's massive. It's massive. The Orlando Magic, like I said, started well, but they just couldn't keep up.
Fizzle out.
Yeah, as soon as the Brooklyn Nets upped their ante, there was no stopping them at all. It was good to see Al Farouk who played his part in that game as well. Still trying to come back from that long-term injury. So just got 2 points on the night. Wasn't good enough. Obviously, let's take a post-game reaction now coming from the coach of the Brooklyn Nets, Steve Nash, and Kyrie Irving.
We didn't waver, when we had a slow start and they were up, 12 and whatever it was for a moment there. And I will say our energy and our connectivity has been outstanding, and we're getting better in that department every week. And you can feel it and see it, and that's something that we got to continue to invest in.
Just our effort, honestly, and just knowing that we just had to settle in. That's all, and we needed it too. Not every game is going to start like that. Start the way we would like, with everything going down, and I got to apologize too. I'm trying to think, and I just got out of the cold tub, so I'm like shivering while I'm up here. But yeah, we can't start every game like how we started the rest of the games during this kind of streak. So we just got to turn the next page, and we put a few possessions together, and then we ended the first quarter well. And I feel like that put us in position to take control of the pace of the game.
Yes, indeed, they took control of the pace of the game, and that's why they've now won 8 games in a row. Before we leave basketball, let's talk about our standout performers on the night for their different teams. Unfortunately, 2 ended up on the losing side. All right, let's go, first of all, start with Bradley Beal. Thankfully, was able to help the Washington Wizards get that very important victory. And it was 33.4 rebounds and 4 assists against the Denver Nuggets. Let's move on to the next guy, Giannis. 38 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists in the Bucks victory yesterday night. Let's go on to Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets. Unfortunately, his 34 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists wasn't enough to prevent Denver from losing out. And last but not the least, Zion Williamson ended up on the losing side as well.
When you're facing against the Greek freak, it's hard for you to actually shine. So who's going to shine? The freak will shine high.
To be fair, Zion shined.
Yeah, he did. He shone. But, I mean, there was an outshining. So that's what is important. 38 and 34.
So he's saying his shine is not as bright.
It's not as bright as as that of Giannis.
As Giannis.
Yeah, that's what I'm. He's shown. Yeah, he did. Okay, let's leave the NBA and quickly talk about elite basketball. Something good is really coming from the team at home here. We know the basketball league hasn't started, but a basketball player decided to come up with an elite basketball league, and 4 teams are going to be taking part in that one, Tayo. And of course, when you look at the fact that we've not had, for 2 years now, like thereabouts.
Yeah.
We've not had anything.
So
Bolaji Emilagba is a basketball player who played before for Raptors or something. But then he decided to come up with, this kind of tournament whereby local players will be able to participate. And these are clubs that will be participating. We have the Royal Hoopers to be one of the teams. The Dundon Warriors also part of it. Unilag All-Star will also be part of it. And Park Dragons will also be part of it. And, of course, it's going to start today in Lagos. And it's going to be like from 4 p.m. every Friday and Saturday. That's when we'll be having this tournament. Just 4-team tournament, Fridays and Saturdays, 4 different locations. Ilukweju courts we use and all that. So at the end of the day, you're just going to be having these teams, these players. Some of them are really eager to start playing basketball because, I mean, we're waiting for the league to start and everything with all the crisis and all that and the top flights. But, I mean, the women's league doesn't have anything like that. And, of course, the other Division 1 and all, we're expecting it to start soon. But while we're waiting for that, someone had to take the initiative to see how some of these clubs can be busy. Yeah,
you're right. That's what it is. Fantastic initiative from these guys that are the ones suffering the most. The actors, the players themselves, who haven't played basketball in over 2 years, and they've just had to take matters into their hands. And just like we're seeing in the NLO, the guys come together to organize the Creative Championship. You're seeing these other guys as well too now. They don't want to wait on forever, so they decide to come. Let's do this 4-team tournament. It's not ideal, it's not the best, but at least they get to play, they get to shake off the rust, and they wait, and hopefully they can resolve all the mess around the top flight league in basketball in Nigeria. Yeah, we can wait for that. So kudos to Bolaji Emilagba for trying to put this together. At least those 4 teams will know the players definitely will be busy after a long, long time. All right, let's go on with the show now, Cecilia. We have a bit of updates on
from
Tiger
Woods. Yes, just updates. He has left, the hospital he was in to another one, talking about the Cedars Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. That's to continue his recovery from the injuries he suffered, earlier in the week and all that in that car crash. So the statement released by the Harbor UCLA Medical Center says he's leaving to continue his recovery from there. So we're wishing him all the best. I mean, he had to be extracted from that car and everyone was afraid and all. But the good news is, I mean, his recovery well, so he's going to continue that orthopedic care in that particular hospital. So,
what more can we say? Fullest, soonest recovery for the big cut. Hopefully, he can return to having a normal, healthy life. That's what's most important right now. Not the
play golf again.
All right. Let's go on with the show now. Let's talk about what's happening there very, very soon. Concerning African football, Cecilia.
CAF presidency, I can't wait.
Election is around the corner.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, a lot of people are tipping the South African billionaire, Patrice Motsepe, to be the winner of this election. I don't know where they're getting all of that from. Anyways, finally, this guy is normally not the most media friendly, or let me put it that way, but he had to address.
He doesn't have the media balls, like he wants to always be in the media and not always in the face of the media.
Exactly, he's not that kind of president.
Right now, he doesn't have a choice.
He doesn't have a choice now because you've got to come out and talk about your manifesto and what you intend to do if you become the CAF president or when you become the CAF president. And that's exactly what he did yesterday. Patrice Motsepe, let's take a listen to him now.
African football must become the best in the world, will become the best in the world. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing that's worth it happens overnight. But the test of what we are going to do over the next few years, what happens in football? If we play soccer or football and we don't score goals, it doesn't matter how beautiful the sport is. You don't win. So we have to win. We have to win. And Africa has proven that we've got some of the best players in the world. So one of the strategies is to try and build the quality, the integrity, the competitiveness, the sustainability of football in Africa to be able to compete against some of the best in the world. Now, to talk and have all of these fancy ideas, it's wonderful. But what's more important is, what are we doing? What are the results? So the test for me is not so much what we are talking about now, it's what the results are going to be 2, 3, 4 years from now. There are many companies all over the world who want to give money to football, but they want to be comfortable that the money will not go into the pocket of the leadership of football, and that the money will indeed be used to develop, to grow, to contribute towards the improvement in the quality of football in Africa.
Yeah, just talking about what he intends to do. I mean,
interesting. His review. I mean, from what is said, it's talked about good governance, global best practices,
of course,
investments, which is very
important, really key.
To football development anywhere in the world, increasing prize money, and,
especially for the CAF competitions and all that, but the confederations come and also Champions League.
Got to make it more attractive, more lucrative.
Exactly.
Very interesting to see how it pans out. I mean, the election itself, but I think I can see why he's being tipped as the front runner. It's
got a whole lot of vision for African football, and hopefully, when the elections, we don't know who's going to win. But who's at the best interest? What we want is someone that will have the best interest of African football and not play politics with it. We need to go on a break. When we come back, we'll need to listen to him on maybe the key role that Nigeria will play for his own presidency. All right, we're talking about Motsepe earlier. Let's just listen to him talking about the support that he intends to receive from Nigeria and the key role that the country will play.
Nigeria, for us, even as little boys and young boys, is very special. I was saying during the press conference, every time Nigeria wins, particularly at the World Cup and when they won the Olympics in 1996, that was a moment of pride and a moment of happiness for all Africans on the African continent as well as worldwide. I'm confident that if I'm honored and privileged to be elected, Amaju will play a very important role in terms of guiding what contributions we can make to make sure that Nigerian football continues to be globally competitive and continues to be self-sustaining, because the critical importance of financial self-sustainability and partnerships with the private sector for the National Football Association, but also for the clubs. We cannot really talk about the success and growth of African football without there being tangible, practical success within Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous nation in the continent. Nigeria has a very proud football history. Nigeria has produced some of the very best African football players that have made all of us very proud on the continent.
Of course, Nigeria is a very, very big, very big country, and of course, it's going to play a key role, when it comes to African football and development. We all know that.
I mean, there's no two ways about it. Nigeria, giants of Africa, you can put that in quotes. But yeah, if you want to be the CAF presidency, you have to have some kind of support from the country, and you have to carry Nigeria along as well.
Of course, and that's why Amaju is in South Africa right now.
Exactly. And,
okay.
For Patrice, Cecilia, like I said, seems to be an outsider when it comes to football politics in Africa.
Yeah.
But if you look at his antecedents, the owner of Mamelodi Sundowns bought the club, transformed the club to the point where they started competing with the likes of Orlando Pirates and the likes Kaizer Chiefs. They won the Champions League as well. So it's not exactly strange or alien to football. Just that it's been
understand the management.
Exactly, it's been on the low, keeping a low profile and all of that. But
so
we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We know he's the man behind Mamelodi Sundowns' success. Now, if you know that, you definitely know that. Maybe someone like that would definitely want to take, CAF to next level. Okay, now, Altaya was talking about the fact that Africa would not host the Olympics until maybe 2030, whatever. Whatever. But it's going to be a long time, maybe another decade from now. But then Danny Jordan, that is SAFA president, is talking about the fact that Africa needs to host another World Cup. But of course, we know how successful the 2010 World Cup, we know how successful it was. But this time around, he's talking about the Women's World Cup. It's big, it's huge. 2030. He's saying Africa would definitely want to bid for that. Let's take a listen to him.
There is one African country, and there's a lot of reference to Morocco. Morocco has tried on 5 occasions to host the World Cup. The last World Cup was 2010, and we're now in 2021. Of course, the 2026 World Cup is with the United States, Mexico and Canada. So the next opportunity is 2030. And therefore, I think it is an opportunity for Africa. But as the point was raised, we must not forget the Women's World Cup. Maybe Africa should look at hosting the Women's World Cup, which will also be a 32-nation event. The Men's World Cup in 2030 will be a 48-nations World Cup. And so I don't think any single country can host the World Cup on the continent. And so the continent must begin to explore co-hosting. If Mexico, United States, and Canada, with all the infrastructure, says that 2026 with 48 nations is not for the United States alone, then Africa must look and explore the possibility of a joint bid for 2030, and that, I think, after the elections, the new executive will apply their mind, as well as a bid for a 32 nations Women's World Cup.
So Africa bidding for 32 Nations Cup in 2030. That's World Cup in 2030. Nations Cup, because that's what we usually do and that's what we host. So it's kind of strange. So we'll be anticipating and waiting for that bid to start. We'll leave that now and quickly talk about the Principals Cup, which starts today. National Principals Cup is starting today. And of course, the event is going to be at Agege Stadium, and Igbobi College and Government College from Kaduna will be the ones that will kickstart this event.
Fantastic. The best, you could say, secondary school football competition. It's great to have you back.
Yeah,
Rebranded.
not just football. Remember, rebranded, yes. Table tennis,
rebranded.
badminton, track and field.
Well,
I
you
mean,
get my point. Football is,
of course, the
is-
king of all.
Yeah, it
I
started
get
all
that.
with football. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some great new talents.
Yeah.
It's very important, and it should be a very exciting competition indeed.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can wait for it.
Let's go on now to the NPFL.
Yes.
Match day 12, games that went down yesterday. I was said it at the start of the show. The Adamawa United, after 12 rounds of games, finally got their first victory of the season. It was against Lobby Stars. There were other matches as well too. At the Danayam Stadium, it was Heartland defeating Dakada by 2-1. Late strike there to wrap up all 3 points against Dakada. Incidentally, Heartland have now beaten the two Akwa Ibom sides. They beat Akwa United earlier in the season by the same score line.
Yeah, that's
Cecilia,
the game right there you talked
highlights
about.
of
And
the
the
game.
first goal that actually came on by Emmanuel Adachi. That's 50. No, Kokoto Udo. That's the name. Kokoto, the 40th minute.
Well
That's it.
taken
Well taken.
strike. Look at that. Goalkeeper had no chance whatsoever. And it was a great start for them. You thought, okay, 1-0 up.
Yeah.
They might just go on and win all 3 points away. Look at that strike again. Caught the ball sweetly, and goalkeeper had no chance.
And they were happy. 40th minute. Okay, going into the break. After the break, when they came back, what happened?
Well, they
Just couldn't hold
considered
on.
they considered the equalizer, and they went on to get a red
Emmanuel
card.
Adachi got that one.
Exactly. And they went on to get a red card as well. It's a great control. I mean, defenders are all over the place there, and they just dispatched it past the goalkeeper swiftly. And that's how Heartland got back into the game. And just when you thought this game was going to peter out into a draw,
It just wasn't to be.
this guy just popped up with his fantastic goal. Cecilia, I've watched this
Yeah.
goal over and over again. I mean, the
Yes,
control in the box
And
to
everything.
beat the defender. Very
was
tight.
focused.
And it's still
It was
managed to put it
focus,
past the
precision.
goalkeeper.
That's what you
Goalkeeper was
do.
advancing, bearing down on him. He didn't lose focus, stayed composed, and he just put in the roof of the net. Look at that control to beat the defender and goalkeeper. No chance. And that's how
Kingsley
Heartland-
Moduforo, 95th
Kingsley, right?
minute.
Look
Yeah.
at that. Virtually the last kick of the game.
The game.
And you can see the bench going berserk.
I mean, crazy.
Crazy.
How about this? I mean,
It was good to
spectacular.
see our
I love
guy.
the composure there, actually.
Yeah.
Just being composed and not rattle
Fidelis
at all.
Ilechukwu was very, very excited to say the least.
You have to, I mean,
3 points at the very
In the
last minute. Anyways, match day 13, games will continue this weekend as well too. Those are the fixtures for you. Akwa United, Rivers United has a big matchup. There's Enyimba, Jigawa Stars, FC Fahrenheit, Plateau United, Lobi versus Katsina, Sunshine Stars versus Adamawa United. I'm not sure Adamawa will be getting anything from Akure. The Kada, Kano Pillars, Rangers, Heartland, Abia Warriors, Wicked
doesn't
Tourists.
get easier for the Kadat.
Doesn't get any easier for them. You can say that again. Kwara United against Warrior Wolves and MFM right in Lagos taking on Nasarawa United.
And that will be on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so that's
All
a
right,
very
how the
tough
table
fight.
stand? I mean, you just have Kano Pillars at the top right now after 12 games, 23 points. Who could have thought? Kwara United second. And of course, Enyimba, they have 2 games in hand and they're third on the log.
All right,
Right.
so that's it for the NPFL.
NNL is next to
NNL.
step down a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
The leagues that have so many games. How many? 48 teams, right?
Obviously.
Okay, where do we start from? Let's take a look at the result of what happened on Wednesday and, of course, on Thursday, some of the games that were played. We talked about the insurance game and Crown, Ben Insurance and Crown, that game that was played in a very, very, that pitch shouldn't be used for playing games. I know NNL should be listening. So match day 3 results, Group B, we'll start with that. Crown FC and Ben Insurance was a lone goal. J. Atete and Gateway ended goalless. You also have the game between Apex Crane and Holy Arrows. It was Apex Crane who won that by a lone goal. Remo Stars and Abia Comets, Remo Stars winning by a lone goal. Ibom Youth and Bayelsa United ended goalless. One Rockets and Godowski ended 1-1. And of course, for fixtures for this weekend, let's quickly start with
Okay, so
the match.
those are- Okay, Group A1.
A1, yeah.
So there's fixtures in Group A1.
A1.
There's fixtures in Group A2 as well. It's a very
a
long,
long
list.
list.
We don't have all the time to go through all of that. So fixtures in Group B1 and B2 as well too. And when we come back on the show next week, Monday, you're going to be getting all the updates from those matches. All right, Cecilia, that's it for the NNL. Let's go on to Europe and talk about the Europa League, where last night Aubameyang captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had to step up just when Arsenal looked on their way out of the competition. Aubameyang said, no, we're not just done yet, and scored the winner against Benfica. Those are the results for you, selected results from the round of 32 second leg matches. Arsenal, like we said, defeated Benfica by 2-0. The other surprising result of yesterday was Slavia Prague defeating Leicester City. High-flying Leicester City in the Premier League have been knocked out of that competition by Peter Lainka's side. And
Salenka got an assist in that one.
God,
And the
must
first
be
leg
said.
ended goalless. We're thinking
Must be
Leicester, when
said.
they get home, they should be able to pick all. But
Very-
somehow they lost 2-0 at home and 2-0 aggregate. And the highest scoring side
disappointing.
happens to be the Rangers and the Royal Antwerp game that ended 9-5 on aggregate. Rangers winning 5-2 in that
Disappointing
leg. So we have some
exits.
Nigerians also in the round of 16.
A lot of
you'll say.
Nigerians, as a matter of fact, a very
Yeah.
disappointing exit. So the round of 16 is complete. There you have it, starting with AC Milan, Ajax, Arsenal, Dynamo Zagreb, Dynamo Kiev, Granada, United, Molde, interesting, Olympiacos, Rangers, Roma, Shakhtar, Slavia Prague, Tottenham, Villarreal, Young Boys. Today is the draw. No seedings, no country protection. Anyone can get anyone. So it'll be very
Imagine
interesting
having
to
Manchester
see.
United and Tottenham. Massive.
Just imagine that. Anyways, we're not doing this part alone.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
Peters will be joining us.
Yeah, Ada
Yeah.
Peters, right?
Joining us all the way from London, talk about this one. I mean, we'll focus first. We'll start with Arsenal.
Of
What
course,
happened
yeah,
to
against
Arsenal?
Benfica.
If not for Aubameyang, you mentioned earlier how he was able to rescue. Ada Peters, good morning. It's good to have you join us this Friday.
Good morning. Good morning, Sisi and Tayo.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, we'll just start with the Arsenal game, and everyone expected Arsenal to actually, just have a good game against Benfica, but somehow it just wasn't to be. It has to take the last kick of the game, Aubameyang rescuing Arsenal. Their performance overall for you?
The Gunners yesterday had one job, which was just to kill the time, make sure that they beat Benfica and proceed to the round of 16. But because of errors from some of their players, they had to leave it late to get the goal. But great play from Bukayo Saka, 2 assists, and a very good comeback from Kieran Tierney, the left back.
Yeah.
Of course, last season, Arsenal got knocked out at this stage of the tie at home to Olympiacos as a result of the away goals rule. So they knew that they had to put the game. They knew they needed one more goal. And, Comet the man, Aubameyang was able to step up 3 minutes to the final whistle to put Arsenal in the next round.
Fantastic, dramatic end to the game, you'd say. And, of course, Aubameyang got the goal. But what about Bukayo Saka? This guy is playing with so much maturity. And I have a few Arsenal fans. They're a bit worried that this guy at 19 is carrying Arsenal at this very young age. Are you one of those guys do you think is doing a lot, is doing too much already at this very young stage of his career?
Bukayo Saka is, he's a superlative generational talent. He has to be one of the best 19-year-olds in the world right now.
True.
And as far as the Europa League is concerned, no player has more assists than Bukayo Saka since last season.
Right.
Look at him in the Premier League. He has 5 goals already. No teenager in the Premier League has more goals than Bukayo Saka. You have to give it to him. He's really a big revelation for Arsenal, and he came through for them today.
Indeed, it's been coming through all season. Anyways, let's go on quickly now to the other English side. The surprise result of the night: Leicester City losing at home at the King Power against Slavia Prague. Come on, guys, 0-0 away from home. They were supposed to come back to England and just seal qualification, but they're out of the competition.
Yeah, that's the intrigue of the European ties. You never really know until the games are played. With Leicester, they're really missing out because Maddison, one of their key players, the guy in Leicester, creating most of their chances, 10 goals already in the Premier League this season, is out injured. So they have Wesley Fofana as well in central defense, injured as well. So I guess Leicester is dealing with this thin squad depth, and they had to just come up with something. All of Harvey Barnes couldn't get the goals for them, and they had to suffer a defeat today.
Yeah,
Okay.
But they had Jamie Vardy.
They had Jim, exactly. It was a big squad. I mean, they didn't rotate squad.
Exactly.
You saw the players expected; they were all on the pitch.
Yeah.
And of course, Brendan Rodgers went on to say that they lack intensity and all that. Do you think they were actually looking at the game against Arsenal, because the Leicester we saw, were very poor. I mean, they were poor. They were just not good enough on the night. Do you think they were actually looking beyond that, thinking, okay, they're going to see maybe get the qualification and looking towards the game they're going to play on Sunday against Arsenal? There was a little bit of distraction there, because that intensity we usually see with Leicester wasn't there at all. No hunger, nothing. They were just drab on the night.
It could have been a factor, of course, because they are doing very well in the Premier League. But they have to also understand that anything can happen, especially with the European qualification. I wouldn't think that they would have tried to ease through this game. I felt that they just didn't have the intensity, as Brendan Rodgers rightly said. And you remember that they also lost to Leeds at the end of January. Leicester has had peaks and troughs this season. True. They've had a fantastic February. They've been unbeaten in February in the Premier League, but still they've lost it to some bottom table teams as well in the Premier League this season. So I guess it was one of their low moments. And one of their key players, Maddison, being out, they were really missing Maddison today.
Indeed, they missed Maddison. They also missed Kelechi Iheanacho as well. Too.
He didn't play. He wasn't listed for the game.
Yeah, yellow cards and stuff. Anyways, before we leave the Europa League, let's take a listen to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Manchester United manager. United, of course, advanced with a goalless draw. Already did the job in the first leg, 4-0 over Real Sociedad. But yesterday we saw the introduction of Shola Shoretire, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had very interesting things to say about the youngster.
Shola is going to be a good player for us, and sometimes you need to test them against good players, and we knew Real Sociedad would. They're a good team, but they're all good individuals, and they press. And we felt today Ahmad, he had to come on, of course. Dan had to come off, and then Shola. The two of them will need these little introductions to this type of level.
Manchester United manager. Let's move on from the Europa League now and talk about the Premier League big games this weekend. Cecilia, I am champing at the beats already. I imagine Ada as well, so you're looking forward to seeing United versus Chelsea. But let's give you all the rundown of the fixtures before we get Ada's analysis of the big games. On Saturday, it's going to be City against West Ham. Okay, I don't know who's going to stop City.
Stop it.
We'll see about West Brom, Brighton, Leeds, Aston Villa, Newcastle versus Wolves. On Sunday, it's Crystal Palace versus Fulham, Leicester versus the Gunners, Tottenham versus Burnley, Chelsea United, and Sheffield versus Liverpool. Let's start with Chelsea versus Manchester United. Ada, what are you expecting in this game?
Chelsea and United game is a very interesting game and a true test of Tuchel's tactics since he became Chelsea's manager. I mean, he's unbeaten in the Premier League and as well as in Champions League, and this will be a big test because in terms of the stability of the Chelsea's defense, he has really improved the defense. They've only conceded 2 goals since he took over. And as you look at Manchester United will also want to ensure that they don't drop points because Chelsea is only 6 points away and Leicester is level on points. So it might be a cautious game. Chelsea might be looking to keep Bruno Fernandes quiet, and Manchester United might be looking to, try to ensure that the ball doesn't get to Mason Mount, it doesn't go past Kovacic and Jorginho. So it could be. I see the game quite cautious. I don't see many goals in this game. It could be a draw, but if there was going to be a win, I tip the Red Devils to win this one.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Red Devils to beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
A true test of their away games, what they've been doing in their away games recently. But we need to go on a quick break, Ada. When we come back, we'll continue with you. We'll talk about the Leicester and the Arsenal game. Welcome back. We still have Ada Peters with us, and we're going to talk about Leicester City and Arsenal. I mean, Leicester City, after losing at King Power Stadium, they will be hosting the Gunners also at the same stadium. Ada, for you, how will Arsenal go about this one, knowing that Arteta actually credited Williams? Williams came on, he said Williams was the one who actually changed the game. Yeah, he singled him out when he was talking after the game. Now, will William have an impact in the next one? And, of course, will Leicester be able to bounce back from their exit from Europe and try to see if they can chase, the league title?
Yes, Leicester is really taking the Premier League very seriously. And I think that they are the favourites to win this game at home against Arsenal. I know they haven't, beaten Arsenal home and away, done the double over Arsenal maybe ever or in a very long time. I mean, even the season they won the league, Arsenal beat them home and away. They don't have that kind of record against Arsenal, but it might be the first time. I mean, from an Arsenal perspective, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal get a point out of this game, but Leicester should, they have the quality. They are 15 points ahead of Arsenal in the league. The odds are in their favour to get 3 points.
Interesting. Quickly, the last game was between West Ham and Manchester City. 26 games unbeaten, 19 wins in a row. Are they going to make it 20? Because David Moyes and West Ham, they're in great form as well.
Yes, West Ham is a very, very informed team. In fact, they kind of boast that they are the best team in London because on the table they are the first London team that you find on the Premier League table, 4th place. With Jesse Lingard, they have a new flair, they have some dynamism. It's a great team, and David Moyes is doing great things with West Ham. But is it enough, to outclass midfield trio of Rodri, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva, right? Or the front three, Jesus. I don't know. I don't think that is enough to even get 1 point at the Etihad tomorrow morning. I feel they will do their best. I guess they'll get a goal. Man City might not keep a clean sheet, but I see Man City just getting their 20th win in a row tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. Now, let's talk about, you mentioned Jesse Lingard. I mean, the impact he's actually had 4 games, 3 goals and assists. This player, I mean, is it reborn or something like that? He's trying to tell Manchester United they did something wrong for letting him go to West Ham, although he's on loan anyway.
He's a dream loan January signing. Yeah. He has Premier League experience. He's a Manchester player through and through, and he has immediate impact. His first game, he scored 2 goals. He's been running riot in West Ham. I think is just a way, is a signal to his coach to say, I'm still as good as it gets. And
Okay, Ada, I want to thank you so much for finding out time to join us this morning. I mean, technology, it happens now. It happens most times. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hope to see you again on Friday to have a comprehensive review of the English Premier League.
All right, before we look at the papers, Cecilia, we have some tweets. We run out of time. Let's start with Mark Anthony. You, of course, looks like you're a Heartland fan. Heartland is playing like a team on fire. Beaten in 5 games, but earlier they were relegation candidates. That was at the start of the season, where the coach and Fidelis seemed to be under pressure, but it looks like they've turned things around. Their second goal was a masterclass. I totally agree. What a finish by Kingsley. Raw should always watch league games instead of but we've seen him watch a few games already.
Yes, of course,
season,
he's always watching the games.
Fair play to Gernot Raw.
He's watching games. I mean, we've seen him. He's watching the Nigerian League
games.
The CAF
Confederation Cup as well. So the Times is now at the stadium. We're sitting watching it on NPFL.tv. So, anyways, more tweets now.
Yeah, we'll have this one coming from Pat. Pat said this weekend games will see cracker and fireworks across England, Europe. City City, West Ham, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Leicester. Of course, Barcelona and Sevilla is another game coming from Spanish La Liga. So it's anyone's game to win or lose, and also test. He's also seen how one of these teams will finish. Then he said he's City, United, and Arsenal to win.
To win
okay.
what?
Yeah, to win the games this weekend.
weekend.
City winning against West Ham, so that means continue the unbeaten run.
Okay.
And of course, you have
Arsenal.
United beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge and Arsenal beating Leicester at King Power Stadium. So that's what he's
Our
telling
last
us.
tweet
this
before we
morning.
go to the papers is from Noble Flyer Man, dedicated watcher of this show, I have to say. I'm very happy for the intensity of the NPFL, but we can do better, especially with the pitches. Yeah, there's been a lot of complaints about the pitches, but I thought yesterday's pitch at the Danayam Stadium was
beautiful.
quite
I mean, it's beautiful.
quite
It's a
decent
good
indeed.
pitch.
So maybe others can take a cue
one or
from
two,
that.
yeah.
All right, you're also talking about Peter Olayinka came to the King Power to hurt two of his brothers. Yeah, Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho.
Yeah, but Kelechi Iheanacho was in the game, so
Yeah,
indeed.
but they still got hurt somehow.
Yeah, it's
because
his-
the team
it's his
is
club.
out. Exactly. You also talk about the night. Okay. Anyway, so that's it. We appreciate your time, you watching the show and sending your tweet. Let's take a look at the papers now before we go. Starting with Sporting Sun. Of course, Eagles to open camp in Lagos on March 22nd. That's complete sport. That's where we are. It's all about the AFCON qualifier for Nigeria, where they will look to qualify for next year's AFCON. What we're saying is Sporting Sun.
Yeah,
Cecilia.
Sporting Sun, there you have it. Dortmund is actually demanding £150 million for Haaland. And we know that just yesterday, was it? During the pre-match, the pre-game, Ole talking about the fact that he's been monitoring him. Was supposed to have signed him January last year and all that.
Yeah.
But you know, Raul, that's his agent. So, I mean, he wouldn't want to sell on the players. Man United with what is happening with Paul Pogba. Just maybe that's what happened anyway. But this guy, now there's a price tag for him right now, £150 million quid. I think that's fair because, I mean, this guy breathes and reads goals. So that's what
There's
it's
a
a
goal
monster.
machine.
Yeah, that's it.
So you're going to have to pay the big bucks.
Pay the big bucks and get him.
Haaland.
Ahead AFCON qualifiers, you have Super Eagles handed Akpoguma boost. Okay, Akpoguma is coming back into the team. Okay, that's for Sporting. So move over to the next one. I mean, complete sports here. Complete sport here. Ndidi, Iheanacho, Osimhen, Okereke all crash out. Olayinka bags assist to qualify. Alongside, you have Aribo, Balogun, Chukwueze, all of them are Rangers. That's Villarreal. And of course, you also have Slava Praha are the teams right, and I have Nigerian teams that are in Europe.
You can't have it all your way.
Yeah.
That's it. Some
That's what it
Nigerians
is.
are out, some are through to the round of 16.
And you have the 10 teams that are actually chasing Haaland. You have Chelsea, Man United, Barcelona, Bayern. Okay, now they're one of them.
Bayern-
150 million quid.
If Bayern are really interested,
they'll get him.
They'll get
but
him.
Bayern will shell out 150 to get any player.
Yeah,
They
if
don't
Bayern
do that.
find a way to get the
They'll
best
find a way.
players in
Of
Germany
course,
without
somehow.
paying that much.
But we know the agent of this man, right?
Yeah,
so
it's a
that's
different,
going to be
different animal
different.
entirely.
So that's not going to work for Bayern. So they shouldn't think about that. It's not going to work for them.
All right, Sporting Life is our last paper. Anyways,
Yeah, Sporting Life, they have it.
Okay, there we have it. Now, Messi draws level with Ronaldo. Yeah, this is a very sad one. Alisson Becker's father, Jose, dying in swimming pool accidents in Brazil. Thoughts and prayers with Liverpool.
And he was just 57.
Very tragic stuff indeed. Mourinho not promising Dele Alli starts in place. We'll see.
Well, he scored for the Europa League game.
Scored a fantastic
goal.
2 assists to boot as well.
Yeah.
So perhaps because he hasn't played a lot of games and is still not fresh.
So bring him on because he's on the losing streak in the Premier League. So why not let him start?
Okay.
Why not let him start and see if he's going to arrest the slump right now? Because he needs to arrest that as early as possible. Ninth position for Tottenham. Jose, not a good one.
Maybe he just wants to, he has plans to bring him off the bench. You know how these coaches, they all have their plans. Brook may sack Okereke. Tyson Fury says no agreement on the venue.
We are tired of that. Just sign the deal and give us the real news, which is when the bout will take place. Exactly. We need to leave the studio. Businessman is up next.
That's it. That's it for the show. That's it for. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I am Tayo Salah.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Bye for now.